With you from SEC Media Days, College Football Hall of Fame, Richard Cross, Michael Borky, Brian Haydad, and now Peter Burns joining us.
Hey, boys. How are you? What's a thing? What did I miss?
So yesterday on our show, Mike Leach openly lobbied for Mississippi State to change its fourth quarter song from Don't Stop Believin' to Mississippi Queen.
That's pretty good. Wait, so Mississippi State does it, Don't Stop Believin'? What's the Tom Petty never going to back down? Right. But I knew
that's
that
Florida, yeah.
they had one. I'm fine. Like, why not? How do you feel about it?
I'm from Vicksburg, which is mentioned in Mississippi Queen, so I'd be all for. I'm 100% for.
Why not? I love Mike Leach. Like, we counted Mike Leach in the hall up yesterday, and I asked him about we were doing this Top Gun bit, like what would everybody's call sign be, and I was just like, Mike, real quick, what's your call sign, and he has to go because everybody's on a schedule to do these interviews, and then Mike goes, well. Call sign, and he clears his throat a million times, and he's like 7 minutes, and we're not even like out of the driveway of this story. And he's out of control. And my favorite is Brandon Langlois, he's kind of the handler and SID over there, and you could just see Brandon just getting like bright red, like we are going to miss every single interview if you don't hustle. And there was no rule, like he never even landed the plane when it came to his story. It was just like, but you have to listen to it.
And then he finished up with like Mustang or something.
Yeah.
That just threw it out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to think about it. Like, okay, thanks, Coach.
The throat clear is a.
He does that with you guys, right?
Yeah,
when he does it, you know, the thing about SuperTalk is
and the thing
football.
You can't edit it out either.
No, it's so weird
I think it's
and
a bit.
awkward. I kind of think it is, but then I kind of think he just doesn't give a rat's you know what.
Yeah. Oh, you're right about that
and
too.
It's so brilliant. It's so many different levels.
You know, when he had the in-between time, in between coaching at Texas Tech and Washington State, and he was on satellite radio, he did that constantly with them. He and Jackaroot.
Oh, my gosh.
We're all
those
together.
Two.
You put those. I mean, that's a lot of crustiness in one radio show.
And I don't know how much football. I mean, I think Jack would want to talk football, but I mean, and that's the balance when you interview Leach is you don't know what kind of day you're going to have him on because, the first couple times that I would have him on, I'm like, oh, man, it's going to be Mike Leach. We're going to talk about all this stuff, and I wouldn't get anything good. And then I realized when you actually talk X's and O's, and I'm learning from it. I mean, he knows in and out how brilliant he is. To do it for this long with that scheme, and you just realize he's a different level. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes he clears his throat.
You remember the Brent Musburger drinking game where one of the take a shots was my good friend Jackaroot?
My good friend Jackaroot.
I hadn't thought of that in a long time. It just kind of made me giggle.
What announcer would we have right now that calls SEC games that we need to have a drinking game with? Could we do a Tom Hart? Anytime that Tom Hart does like some
Tom Hart has a name drop.
Yeah.
Tom Hart talks about a local restaurant.
No, the Tom Hart local restaurant thing. I think it would have to be on the bingo card.
That's a finish your drink.
Right. Yeah. And Cole talking like some third finishing move an offensive lineman would make. I think that would be
the SEC Saturday Night Crew.
Oh my God!
The Saskatchewan, stuffer that he's breaking out there. Yeah,
they had the Pac-12 After Dark, but can you imagine that? I mean, again, I still want us to do one of these years. SEC.
Jordan wears a tight shirt.
Well,
now you're just hammered before the start of the game.
Yeah. I still want to do SEC media nights one night. I've been pitching that idea for 19 years, and the league tells me to hush every year that we do a little bit more of an open bar situation. But that's
They give you control over scheduling for that. Who are the four coaches that are speaking on open bar night?
Well, I think it kind of varies year to year, right? Because I think, Mike Leach is always going to be there because Mike Leach is not afraid to they'll say anything to anybody.
Okay.
So I'm going to put Leach there. This year it would have been Jimbo. It would have been Nick because of that.
Yeah.
But they're boring.
Nah, we can get them a little loose, though.
Yeah, but that's why you got to have Leach. Leach is the ultimate glue guy in this conversation because Leach is like, you guys made up? y'all good? You know, like he would do something along those lines.
Your fourth in that group then has to be Lane Kiffin.
He just pokes so subtly.
I want Lane in the front row live tweeting about it. Like I think Lane would be great and like and Leach just MCs it and he's like let's take a Twitter or face by face question from Lane in the front row, and then Lane would have some just great question. Yes,
these are all great ideas.
Who would you put by the way outside? So if you had Jimbo and you had Nick and you got Leach out there, and I don't think we're going Lane. I gotta have one more.
Mark Stoops?
Stoops would be pretty good.
He's just
Pittman feel like
but
Pittman would make everybody feel good. Like Pittman, you just enjoy spending
crushing Natty Lights
as well with. Drink would be pretty good because he knows how to kind of fire up people a little bit. I'd be good with that.
Who?
Drinkwitz.
Oh, he's another guy who he prods.
Whoa,
he's a troll. He's not a big fan.
You're not a drink fan. Okay, it's fine.
Tries too hard.
Yeah, I mean, don't you have to try a little harder at Missouri right now? I mean, don't you have to kind of have a thing?
It has nothing to do with where he is. It's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's all marketing one way or another, right? I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, listen, I'm wearing a stupid mustache all week long. I mean that's
you're like 38% more handsome though. Don't call it stupid.
Listen, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah. How's that going to be received when you get home?
Not well, Richard. I got to be honest with you.
That needs a live video.
So my wife's going to actually make it home.
My wife, no. I think it might meet its untimely death on air tomorrow as a.
Oh, good.
That's maybe a little preview of what we're going to do with the show tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Tune in.
But it's been a fun. I mean, literally, it's been a fun week. Like, because this is like the official, like, all right, it's time to actually talk football. And I don't know how you guys feel, but this is the least amount of actual football that I've talked in an off season because of name, image, and likeness, and transfer portal, and conference realignment, which is great for us because then we feel fresh talking about the actual X's and O's. But I'm ready to get my mind around actual football coming up.
What part of your job do you like the most?
Baseball season. And I'm not pandering that because of that. It's just the spring is so cool. Like everybody talks about how big college football is, and I love it. But baseball, we go into golf, we've got softball, we're at Hoover. Like, I don't get a chance to get out on the road a ton.
I got to ask you about something also. I just completely derailed your answer.
Yeah, thank you. But you didn't even care about what I was answering. I was literally trying to give you a thoughtful answer, and you're just like, no. Well, let me ask you.
I have something to say.
It is because of your answer that I came up with something else that I want. So you did a PGA Tour event.
I did, yeah. And so the genesis of that, to bring it all full circle, is the reason why I like the spring so much of our job is because a couple of years ago I called SEC Golf, men's and women's, for the first time, and that was so awesome, which led to when ESPN got the contract for the PGA Championship, they needed announcers, and I guess they couldn't find anybody else, and they're like, do you want to do it? I'm like, yeah. And like the first day it's over at Kiowa, and I'm thinking I get one of the featured groups, and I'm thinking I'm going to be like the Z-level person. They're like, you got Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, and Justin Thomas. I'm like, this is for real.
So, good.
So that led to, didn't throw up over myself. It went all right, and then I got an opportunity now. The PGA Tour called, and I'm doing BMW Championship in a week or so, and it's fun, man. So
it's really cool.
When are you joining Live?
No comment.
So I'm going to $75 million check.
I'm going to wait till Barkley makes the jump, and But again, what's going on in Live is what's going on in college football. It's what's going on in everything right now. Where it's like there is boatloads of money, and everybody's realizing how do you cash in on it right now. UCLA and USC just did it. Texas and Oklahoma did it the year prior, and we just happen to be where everybody wants to come to right now.
Yeah. Ask your question.
So my cousin Chris.
No. We're almost out of 10.
I couldn't resist. We're asking everybody, State or Ole Miss this year, who do you like better?
State. I have concerns about how much you lose in Lebby and DJ Durkin and Sam Williams, and just everybody. And I don't think that means that they're going to go 4-8, but I feel more confident about State this year. How are you going to make me end on such a bad note from your guys' show?
How's that a bad note?
Well, I mean,
that was a pretty
terrible answer.
You see? Brian, we're always going to be friends. I'm still trying to earn Richard's friendship.
Good luck with that. He's cold-blooded.